Then we're going to go to a Monday, a standalone Monday night game. Let's break this one down, man. Clemson at Duke. We're going to get a new look, or a new offense coordinator, a new quarterback at Clemson, and a new Dabo. Is Dabo changing a little bit with what his plan is? Is he letting Garrett Riley have a little more leeway, or are we going to deal with the same weird old Dabo the whole time? Parks, break down this game. What are you seeing from that side?
Yeah, I think for Clemson to win, they need to be Clemson. And I don't want them to lose their identity and kind of how they've built what they've built, because even though they're not a team that everybody wants in the playoffs, they're still a very dominant team that's always in the top of college football, and a team that I know one other person believes in throughout the year. Garrett Riley, I think his schemes are good. I don't want him to focus on the quarterback too much, because he does not need to forget about Will Shipley. They could be successful within this game just handing the ball to Will Shipley 30 times. So I don't think Duke has enough. I just think Clemson needs to be Clemson. They're always good on the defensive side of the ball. Yes, they lost a few things, but they just need to have that offensive progression and kind of work into their scheme. And it's a tough game to do it, honestly. Opening up with Duke is not a handheld win like some of these other teams are getting, but I just don't think Clemson needs to overthink this, be themselves, hand the ball off to Will Shipley. For God's sake, just do that and do that again, because you're going to be able to run the ball effectively against this team.
100%. Now, looking at Duke, if Duke wins this game, Riley Leonard goes ballistic. That's what I think. He's going to keep that defense off balance for Clemson. They're not going to be the elite in the back end that Clemson's been in before. Like, they're usually really good up front, and then they have solid DBs and linebackers. Maybe that's the difference, is that Clemson comes out really slow, just not quite prepared. On the offensive side of the ball too, maybe they're sputtery. Like, maybe they haven't adjusted to the new scheme that they're running. Maybe Klubnik's not, completely ready to go, and they're slow out of the gates, and Riley Leonard takes advantage of that with a year under his belt on his home field, and a scheme with a team that really believes in their coaching staff. I think that's what's going to have to happen. And the defense of Duke's no joke. Like this, they're not getting a slouch on the defensive side of the ball. And if they take the next step, they could be a top 20 defense in the country. Will that happen? I'm not sure. The line doesn't suggest so. Duke is a 12.5 point underdog with an over-under at 56. I mean, not to say what I think is going to happen, but I'm really excited to watch Riley Leonard right now. Like, the world's going to get exposed to what this guy can do. Right, he's a super talented quarterback that not a ton of people know about, and you're going to see Clemson, obviously, that some people here in this podcast room really believe in. And so I'm really excited for that game to be on Monday to stand alone. Schaefer, when you look at this game, what are your thoughts on it? Like, what do you see? What do you kind of think is going to happen?
I want to see what the veteran group on both the offensive and defensive line for Duke can bring. I think it's a group that is aged, but not really as talented as they've shown. I think that hopefully their experience can kind of lead to their success this year. They didn't see a ton of teams last year that really will test them like they will be tested on Monday. I think I said in the preview, it was a very poor record against teams above 500 last year. So we know, and we love to talk about the production that they bring back on both sides of the ball. But was it hype, or was it real? I want to see what this defense can do against Cade Klubnik, who, to be honest, kind of struggled in that bowl game and showed some weaknesses of where I think you can expose him on that side of the ball. I think this senior defensive line needs to get after him on offense. They gave up 22 points a game last year. If you can keep that offense under control, like Clemson has shown in previous years, like last year and the year prior, I think Riley Leonard will give them a chance. I think if they can keep them to 21 points going into the fourth, I think that's a good enough opportunity at home for Riley Leonard, the best quarterback on the field that day, to go out and win the football game. So we'll see what happens.
Reese, give me your prediction on this one. What happens? Who wins this game?
I'm going to go against everybody. I'm saying Duke's going to win this one.
Okay. Call the upset, Reese. Come on.
Blue Devils at home, brother.
Wait.
That
can't work. That can't work. Reese, please. You have Clemson in the college football playoff.
Yes, I know I do.
You have them losing to Duke week
one loss. Stay with my 4 seed.
No, that can't work.
No
way.
Yes, he can.
That's wild. It's happening.
You're gonna run the table. They're 11-1 ACC champs.
I don't even know.
Because your Big 12 and your Pac-12 champions are going to have 2 losses.
Holy shit, dude. I still don't know if a loss to Duke week 1 will, like, even if those 2 things happen, I don't know if that will be enough if they lose to Duke. Because Duke's not going to win. Duke will have to win 8-9 games minimum for that to not be frowned upon.
What if Clemson goes 11-1 and ACC champs?
I still think, but Duke's will be 7-5, 8-4 at that point. Wouldn't they still look at frowned upon enough to
not one loss?
Give me Duke. I don't care.
That's wild.
Ohio State got into the playoff in a year that they lost to a bad Virginia Tech team.
I like it. Bro, that's wild, but I like it.
Yeah, I'll take the Tigers though. Won't think too hard on it.
I'll take Duke to cover, but I will also take Clemson.
Oh, interesting.
Parks?
Yeah, no, I got Clemson winning the game. I think they'll hand the ball off enough, and Duke can't stop them.
Well, we now have the one guy who, if this hits, is the smartest guy in the room. But if not, it's just crazy talk, considering his predictions.
That would be wild.
We'll see how this one works out on Monday.
Right, man.
Good news, you got a long time to rethink it, Reese. If you want to go back and quote tweet this and just say I changed my pick, you can do that.
Right here the whole time.
All right.